What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video and welcome to your stimulus check update, stimulus package and infrastructure update and daily news report for Sunday, July 4th. First off, happy 4th of July to all you guys. Now, what I want to do today, first off, I am going to continue to do 2 videos today. I'm going to fill you in on all the updates. I don't anticipate we have a lot of updates later on today, but I do expect that we will get some updates. So if we do, I will fill you in on that later on today. But if you're needing help, if you're needing rental assistance, mortgage assistance, need help paying some bills, make sure you go and watch my video later on today, because I'm going to address where you can go get some help, where you can find some additional relief, where you can go and tips to actually save a little bit of money. So if you need help there, make sure you go and watch my video later on today. It's going to be a little bit earlier. I'm not going to do it at 5 o'clock because I'm going to spend some time with my family, obviously today, as it is a holiday. But let's get into the update for this morning. First, what we are seeing is that progressives hold a big number in the House right now. In the House of Representatives, it's very close to flipping towards Republicans. So what we know at this time is Nancy Pelosi is going to cater towards Republicans, just like Senator Schumer catered towards the moderates in the Senate in the past bill, is that he had to cater to Senator Joe Manchin and Senator Kyrsten Sinema simply because they were actually holding a little bit of power because they were the 2 holdouts. Well, what we're hearing now is that progressives are preparing, okay? They are actually preparing at this time to hold out and go against, potentially sacrifice the bipartisan infrastructure package simply because that they are wanting to ensure a 100% guarantee that the Senate passes the budget reconciliation bill first before they even go and consider supporting the bipartisan bill. Here's what we know. According to the U.S. Progressive Chairwoman Pramila Jayapal, she actually said that she wants to make sure that the 5 progressive priorities are included into the next package, which means there's going to be something in there for climate action. Now, you know this. You see my background is obviously different. I'm actually shooting this video from my dining room simply because it is very hot in my office. And I stated this a couple weeks ago that my AC just wasn't working for some reason in my office, in my home office. So because of that, well, now I'm here. Now, what I can tell you, the progressive, they want to see climate action included. Well, this is where some are saying there's not enough. There needs to be more money. There needs to be a bigger investment. There needs to be bigger and bolder legislation, and it needs to happen immediately. Well, if we see that, who knows? But what I can tell you is now's the time to do it. With the heat wave that we're seeing across the United States, especially here in Washington State over the past about week, we've been seeing a pretty high number. Again, I can only speak for Washington State because that's where I live. But in Oregon, California, and other states as well, even a few states on the East Coast, been seeing some pretty high record numbers as well. Progressives also want to see investment into the care economy. They also want to see funding for affordable housing, and this is something I think we have been talking about for a little while, is housing is very expensive. How do you go and pay for certain things? How do you go and buy a house when it almost requires you, especially in this climate, in this economy that we're in, where you see 15 to 20 offers on every single home? How do you go and outbid somebody if you do not have $100,000, $200,000 as pretty much a down payment to guarantee you're going to get it, and to a little bit to overpay, right? How do you do this? And that's where some are saying that there's no way a new buyer, first-time home buyers, can come in and win a deal, get a home, so they're going to be stuck renting. And if rents increase the way that home prices have been in the past year or so, many people are going to be priced out of the market and won't even be able to afford rents. We also know progressives want to see Medicare expansion and lowering drug costs. This is a big one. Let me explain how progressives want to handle this. First off, with the expansion of Medicare, they want to lower the eligibility age from 65 down to 60. And some are potentially going to consider that move if there's a buy-in. So people would have to buy in once they get to 60, they would have to buy in, or they have to wait till they get to 65. Both of those are options, but progressives want to see just flat out go from 65 down to 60, Even Senator Bernie Sanders, he was hoping to go down to 55 years old or have a buy-in at 55 and then start it at 60. So that's another option as well. But this is a big one for progressives. Bernie Sanders, he also wants to see there's going to be healthcare for hearing, vision, and he also wants to see dental. Those are big things that cost many people, millions of people, okay, thousands of dollars every year to get those things. And this is something that people on Medicare and Social Security recipients don't have the money to go and pay for those things. So a lot of them just don't get it. We also know to lower drug costs. A lot of people have been stating in the comments, and I read the comments all the time. I try to respond as much as possible. But a lot of people have been saying that there's nothing for people on Social Security. What we know is that lawmakers at this time, they are trying to discuss potentially more stuff for Social Security recipients, right? Increasing the benefits, letting people go back to work if they can or are able to. But one of the big ones is lowering drug costs. Drug costs here in the United States are very expensive. So if they can lower the cost and negotiate directly with some of these pharmaceutical companies, directly with them and the manufacturers, if by lowering the cost they provide a better service, and now people on Medicare and Social Security can take their money, instead of spending $200 a month on medication, what if they only spend $50 or $100? That leaves the other $100 or $150 left over of savings that they can put towards something else, which would be great. I think many people would highly appreciate that. And also, progressives want to see a roadmap to citizenship. Now, when I say roadmap to citizenship, a lot of people, and I've seen it in the comments, are saying, oh, so every single person can get citizenship? No, that's not the case. What progressives would like to do is first offer citizenship to essential workers, people that would come into the United States and to do the essential jobs, right? Things that maybe people here in the United States don't want to do, can't do, or there's a need for more people to be hired on, but there's just not enough people with that experience or background here in the U.S. Well, one of the things they can do is get people from another country, and so that's where they're discussing that, is potentially bringing people in and in a roadmap towards citizenship, but through essential workers and making sure people are going to be employed as soon as they get here. So that's a big thing as well. Now, one thing that I can state right now is that progressives also want to see a stimulus check included. But at the same time, progressives want to see a stimulus check included into the infrastructure package. Just understand there are just as many lawmakers, and many are Republican, but again, that doesn't matter. All that matters is how many people will vote in support of this. But there are many lawmakers, that just as many, that want a stimulus check as do not want one and say that a stimulus check isn't needed. But then now we have a third group of people that not just say we need a stimulus check, or that no, we don't need one, the economy's doing just fine. Now we have this large group of Democrats that say we need that survival check. We need to make sure the American people can survive through this pandemic. And especially right now, here on the 4th of July, where many people are wanting to spend time with their family, maybe have a barbecue, go light off some fireworks, whatever, right? A lot of people are looking at this and like, you know what? I don't have the money to go buy fireworks. I don't have the money to go and do a barbecue. I don't have the money to do anything outside my own home. And in some cases, people don't even have enough money to pay for their home. And so what we're hearing right now is progressives say that we must sacrifice a bipartisan bill if it doesn't include more legislation to the American people, because the American people truly need this and they want this. This is why the American people, over 85 million people, voted in favor of President Biden and voted to have Democrats hold the majority in the House and the Senate, because they want to see Democratic priorities. So these are actually looking pretty good for progressives at this time. My guess is we're going to see more progressive priorities come out. We're going to see more plans being introduced probably over the next few weeks. My anticipation is progressives are going to be holding a little bit more power, kind of like Senator Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema did earlier this year, back in March, February and March. So as we know more there, I promise I'll fill you in on that, those updates as well. But the one problem we're seeing right now is Bernie Sanders is trying to step up and trying to show how much power he has. The problem is Bernie Sanders is the one progressive in the Senate. Well, there's more moderate Democrats in the Senate than progressives. Again, there's only one. So that's creating an issue. And that's what's causing Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer to look into, do I side with Bernie Sanders, who is pretty much the leader of bringing this budget reconciliation bill to the floor, but do I side with him, or do I side with Joe Manchin, Kyrsten Sinema, and the moderates and Democrats in the Senate, because they would actually hold more power and they'd have a bigger voice at this time? So either one really doesn't matter. But what I want you to understand is if Bernie Sanders decides he's not going to vote in favor of a bill, the bill will be done. If Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema, the moderate Democrats in the Senate, decide they're not going to support a bill, the bill is done there. So the problem is trying to get a compromise between Joe Manchin's $2 trillion infrastructure idea and Bernie Sanders' $6 trillion infrastructure proposal, that framework. Trying to get in some type of negotiation agreement there is going to be difficult, and many people think that finding some type of agreement and compromise at this point is going to be almost impossible, specifically after passing and agreeing to a bipartisan deal, which does include Senators Mitt Romney and Senator Joe Manchin as well. So I'm telling you, it's getting crazy, it's getting interesting, but that is what we know right now. Again, just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful 4th of July. Hopefully you guys can go out there, have some fun, hang out with your friends, family, and just relax. I will come on later on today, provide another update for you guys on how to get additional relief, go and find some additional stimulus money, save money, do things that will actually benefit you, put food on the table, keep a roof over your head, and things like that. So again, thank you guys for watching. As always, if you can, go ahead and hit that like button. It really does help out the channel. Also consider subscribing so I can continue to keep you updated on everything that's going on, and I'll see you guys on the next one.